Thanks, Professor Dr. C.B. Sanjeev, Vice Chancellor, Sri Satsai Institute of Higher Learning. So I was just thinking whether it's insightful or inspiring, because first time I have heard an insightful, talk, and wherein I was inspired about, I was thinking like how from human values to value, human value and to value, and it like illness to wellness, it's so integrated. Thanks, sir. Now I would like to, it's my pleasure and honor to introduce inspiring personality. His name itself is a complete introduction to all of you, Shri Ratnakar Garu, a illustrious son of Swami's younger brother, Shri Janaki Raman Garu, who was a member of Sri Sathya Sai Central Trust, had done a human service, as in like he was actively taking part of all the service projects initiated by Bhagwan. Right from his birth, Shri Ratnakar Garu grew under the love and the care of divine guidance of Bhagwan himself. We may say Bhagwan molded him at the young age, preparing him to take up the higher responsibilities in the divine mission. He graduated from Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning with an MBA in 1991. He was awarded the All-Rounder Gold Medal in the year 1990. Shri Ratnakar guided many of the inspiring Seva initiatives. Like recently, if I take starting from Kerala housing projects, solar project electrification of the entire Prashanti Nilayam and Sri Sathya Sai Institute, setting up the digital archive, was the life and message of Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. In January 2020, with the divine blessing of Bhagwan, the Board of Management Trustees is reposing the confidence in his leadership unanimously made him the managing trustee of Sri Sathya Sai Central Trust Prashanti Nilayam. I would like to mention the largest spiritual service trust in the world. He is also serving as a trustee of Sri Sathya Sai Sadhana Trust, Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, and Sri Sathya Sai Medical Trust. We would like to invite Shri Ratnakar Garu to inspire all the 200 plus adults here. And I just would like to mention one thing. Just a week back we were in Pathankot, and sir mentioned that I am the Pradhan Sevak. Being as a young adult, that word itself was so inspiring, so motivating for me. That word coming from that, a person who is holding a chair and still so humble. We would like to invite you, brother, to inspire all of us. Thank you.
Offering my most humble and prayerful salutations at the divine lotus feet of our beloved master, most respected Chakravarti sir, Vice Chancellor, Registrar, All India President Nimesh Bhai, all my teachers and young brothers and sisters who have come for this beautiful program. Very loving siren to each one of you. The day before, Gopi met me in my office and said, sir, he was running through the program. I asked him, what is my topic? He said, very evasive answer, and he said, finally he said, there is no topic for you. It's a blessing in disguise. Because if you had given some topic and I have to prepare and come, it would have been difficult. Now I can freelance. So it's a, thank you Gopi for not giving me any topic. It's a leadership program that which University and Sathya Sai organization is jointly conducting. I understand there is an overwhelming response and desire to participate in this program. More than 1,000 people applied and only 250 got that first chance to be here. In Sathya Sai organization or Sathya Sai Trust, under Sathya Sai mission, all of us are tuned and believe and trust and that we have only one leader, that is Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. This is an organization, unique organization, unlike when you say leader or leadership, unlike any other setups in the what conventional sense, a corporate world or a political leader or any other disciplines, this is basically a spiritual organization. People have responsibilities, people have some designations, but all of us follow only one dictum of Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba. How Swami also wanted us to be with him is, he would very, in university, he would say many times when he was addressing children, he said, don't walk in front of me, for I may not follow you. Don't walk behind me, for you may not be able to follow me. Walk hand in hand with me, so that we will go together, travel together. Swami himself gave that. So he said, you don't be someone who is behind me or you are trying to be in the front of me. We are together. We are that kinship which Baba created. That is the fundamentally the key principle for Sai organization. Here, all of us follow, all of us go down to the same feet, all of us walk together. Responsibility wise, we may be having designations, but in sum and substance, all of us are equal, all of us are followers of Bhagwan. Having said this, I think that is the setting in which we should understand the leadership here. A leader is here, is the best follower is the leader. Whenever I am saying going to use the word leader, you should understand that I am referring to a best follower who is the leader here. Those who only follow will automatically get into a leadership among the followers. Unless you are a good follower, you cannot be a good leader. And Swami has innumerable occasions talked about what he expects from us to lead Sai mission, how to lead Sai mission, how one should conduct in Sai mission. Now that young people are here, it's really very, very joyful to see so many young people traveling across the country, defying coronavirus. It's a really very, very joyful, and in fact yesterday afternoon also we were little state government, central government, but we said in Swami's presence nothing is going to affect us, so we will go ahead with the program. But when we see all of them are very bright and nice, healthy looking, it's a really joyful thing that, so many young people have taken time off to come and participate in this beautiful program. I do not know whether in 2 days we will convert you or in say next 6 months into a great leaders, but definitely it will add to your life, because here you are going to learn what that may be making you to a leader, but definitely a good human being. That much I can assure you. And coming to this leadership program today, I was just coming while I was just thinking, though they are not giving me any topic, I should say something very useful to my younger brothers and sisters. Who is a leader? I had read a beautiful quote. Leader is not the one who conquers others. The leader is one who wins them over. It is not your power, it is not your intellectual capacity, it is not your ability to outsmart somebody, but your ability to make them to be with you, to think alike. That's why it is said you can't conquer. A leader is not a person who conquers, but he wins them over. You should win them out of your own, how you do, how you relate, how you talk, how you express yourself, how you are in, how sincere, how loving you are to your own core. These things which will, so that's why perhaps it's a beautiful thing to think that we should not, a leader is not someone who can subdue others or somebody who can conquer over others, but who can win them over. Then, what are the qualities of leader in Bhagavan himself has explained in many discourses. I just thought I will mention a couple of them. A leader in Sai Mission or anywhere else, I think it's across whatever Swami is given a universal messages. In Ramakatha Rasavahini, he talks about Swami has written about Ramayana. You know, there are 2 volumes of Ramayana which Swami has written. It's called Ramakatha Rasavahini. It's a beautiful, I'm not certifying it, it's the best about Ramayana has ever written. And he writes about Ramayana in a completely different perspective. Not the traditional religious things which we hear, but it's completely different perspective. In that one incident, what I would like to narrate here is when Vibhishana, after in the war zone, and he knows that there is a fight between Rama and Ravana. Vibhishana, and sometime he wants to come and surrender and be with Rama. So there is a message he sends saying that I want to be with Rama, I want to join the army and be with Rama. That time, the decision maker, who is the decision maker? It's Rama himself is the decision maker. But in Swami, what he has written in that Ramakatha Rasavahini, he says Rama calls everybody. He calls Hanuman, he calls Vali, Sugriva, he calls Angada, all of them, Lakshmana, everybody calls them, and he starts discussing. Should we accept him or should we not accept him? What should we do? Let's say episode in which Rama talks to Hanuman and says, what should we do? Now this Vibhishana wants to join us. What should we do? Hanuman says, whatever you decide is the best. And then he asks Lakshmana. Lakshmana is not very sure. He says, this guy is from opposite camp. We do not know. Maybe it's a very sabotage operation. We do not know why he's coming. This we need to think. Vali outrightly says, we should not take him, because these guys are capable of doing anything. Angada also gives out all his views, and all of them gives views. But then Rama has a lot of discussion. Why there can be a brother can be very wicked, but other brother can be very noble. So all this discussion happens. Finally, all of them say, Rama, you take the decision. And now then Rama permits Vibhishana to come and join him. This episode Swami has written not as it's not for writing Ramakatha Rasavahini, it's a guidance for all of us. A leader should consult. A leader, whoever you are saying a leader, Rama is all-knowing. He could have just given he's a king also. He could have just given one word, yes, he is coming, and he doesn't need to inform all of them. But a leader should take everybody along, all his people, whoever are with him, whoever is traveling with him. A leader is only a true leader when he is able to take all his people along. That is what I feel is the message from Ramakatha Rasavahini of this episode which Swami has written, for all of us to learn that take everybody along. Everybody is equal. Everybody can have it's always better to listen to a couple of people, hear the divergent views. A leader need not have only what he says should be followed, because we can make mistakes. So it is always better we learn, we bounce our thoughts, we consult, and none other than the Lord himself did in that time. That is what Baba as beautifully has written in that Ramakatha Rasavahini. So a leader should have consulting, a leader should be able to have the dialogue with the people who are with him. Then only he becomes a true leader. Then a leader should be humble, very humble. There is one more Swami Bhagavata Vahini. He writes about one beautiful episode where there is a war between Kauravas and Pandavas. During the war, they are all on the battlefield. Dharmaraja goes to the opposite camp. The people who have come to fight him, Dharmaraja is leading from this side. He goes to the other camp and he bows down and touches feet of every elder in the other side. He goes and touches the feet of Bhishma, Dronacharya. All of them take their blessings, saying that for some unfortunate reason we are fighting each other, but please bless me, please. He goes to the opposite camp. It's a beautifully mentioned that he's a leader, but we need to learn these things. We need to be humble. We need to be able to appeal to the all sections, even if they are opposite to us. We should have that humility to appeal to them. So the moment they also, when he goes and bows down, what is the heart they will have? What is the feeling they will have towards him? What blessings they would have given? They would have said Vijaya Bhava, and it happened. So always we should take everybody, even somebody who is not agreeing with you. Vice Chancellor was saying that if two people are disagreeing, another two people are wasted. So if there is disagreement, best is to start from them. Talk to them. Don't avoid them, because ego is a big issue. Because we say, oh, the hell is he talking to us? Why should we talk to him? Why should we go to him? No. Talk to them first. Then others are always, they're all they're listening to you. So a leader should be humble. Then a leader should be benevolent. One of the beautiful sessions with some of our elders who come to Prashant Nilayam, I heard this beautiful anecdote. There was a debate why a lion is the king of the jungle. There's a big debate. Why should it should be crowned as a king of jungle? So they said, who else can be other than the lion? They said, no, tiger can be also it's also equal in size. It can be really faster than lion. It can be really, it's as strong as lion, and it can be little. Sometimes the tiger can be fierce and can defeat a lion also. So why not tiger? So they said, okay, fine, let us observe them for a little while. Finally, there was a time when they came to declare who is either tiger or a lion. They all said lion is the king of the jungle. The reason is, understand, whenever there is a hunt, if a tiger goes and kills something and eats something, it doesn't leave it. It will go take it and keep it on a big boulder or tree. It will protect it, and it keeps eating till next 3, 4 days, 5 days. But a lion doesn't do that. The lion kills, eats whatever. Once its stomach is full, it sits aside. Anybody can come and take it. Anybody can eat. Even jackals, fox, anybody can go there and eat. It will never ever disturb them. A benevolent. He is a giver. He doesn't only eat himself. He eats. He gives for everybody. His tiger is not like that. Tiger, it seems it kills. That's the absurd nature of the tiger. It kills, but it keeps for everything till the end. So that's why they said, lion is the king of the jungle. If you need to be a leader, you need to be benevolent. You need to share whatever little spaces, because human beings have weaknesses. Human beings' aspirations. They need to change it. For everything they need little space, little appreciation, little. If you give them, I tell you, we can inspire, and they will always be there to achieve the target which we have kept. So a leader should be benevolent. A leader should be humble. Leader also, like he was saying, we should never assume say, you are a higher pedestrian, you are someone who is only giving instructions. In Satyasai organization, I keep telling, all these are all designations for achieving some work, but otherwise we are all same. That's why I mentioned in Pathankot also, they were giving an introduction, managing trustee, this, but managing trustee is the first servant in Prashanti Nilayam. We should always remember that any state president is the first servant of Sai Mission in that state. A district president is the first servant of Sai Mission in the district. Once we have that feeling, once I become the first working person of that unit, the rest of it will always fall into place. And Swami has given innumerable examples of such great souls who have worked in this organization. In fact, that is why how it is built today, 150 countries. Satya Sai organization is built not by people just giving instructions, but by people going and giving service, doing service. Some of the states, people have gone on foot, gone on motorbikes, gone to village and done the work. Our great elders, they have, today this beautiful institution is built just not like that. It's built by inspiration of Bhagwan, no doubt. But the people who have gone, they're hands-on people. They have gone and worked at the grassroots level, at the field level. So, and second and last thing, which I would say, is a leader should never be a fault finder. Should never be a fault finder. Faults maybe people are doing. Never, that should not be our outlook to find faults with others. Because just because we say I become a district president, I am not just there only a fault finder or correct, giving directions to correct people. We may be also making that. It's only designation. Swami would say, it's better to find out one shortcoming in you than to find 1,000 in others. Finding one shortcoming in you is more useful than finding 1,000 shortcomings in others. Because you need to be corrected. The buck stops with you. In Sai Mission, all of us are working with that motto. I am so happy that so many young people are coming to these portals to join and a great inspirational journey, spiritual journey which Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba started for the sake of humanity. It's a great journey. Let me tell you, it's a most exciting thing. We all, we studied in this hallowed institution. It's a great, great journey. Our memories are all somewhere deeply enrooted, deeply linked to this institution, the way we were molded, the way, here in the good olden days when 80s, early 80s, when we were students, much different. The things were much different. Such halls never existed. We all sit on the floor, all of us, and have a prayer, everything. Sanjay was, our controller was my roommate in the hostel. Different. We all used to, we used to do our own work. We used to roll chapatis in a hostel. We used to carry vegetables. I remember, I fondly remember that I'm happy to remember that I used to carry vegetable bags on my back like that when a truck comes with vegetable. We used to do ourselves. We used to clean kitchens. We used to carry milk for serving. And every room gets a chance to serve. There is a serving duty. In the hostel dining hall, you have to serve yourself. So it's a great, you get really leveled and you sit down and eat. There's no dining tables. Baba would say, yes, with how much ease you sit down to eat, it's same ease you should get up. You should not have, you should not take somebody help to get up. So much you fill up till here, you should with ease. Because eating in everything in moderation is the best. Nashreyo niyamam vina. Without that kind of a regulation, human life can be go haywire. Even a river has to flow between two banks to reach its destination. If it crosses the banks, it becomes a flood and it gets stagnated, and then it becomes a cesspools and only mosquitoes and breed there, and it becomes slushy. When river needs to go into the destination called ocean, it has to flow between two banks. The life also need to reach this fructification. We should follow these two banks, which Swami said, Shraddha and Shaburi. These two banks are must for us so that we travel safely, we travel quickly, we don't get stagnated anywhere. we go into reach our destination. Life is a one-way traffic. There's no U-turn, there's no side turn. You need to be very careful. So because you can't, this is a one-way traffic. You are traveling only one side. You keep on traveling. From time you have arrived till you depart, this is only one-way traffic. You say, I want to just wait for 5 minutes, I want to detour. It's not allowed. So life is a one-way traffic. Spread as much as love possible. Serve as many people as possible. And as while you are doing, the most important thing you should never forget is Satya Sai organization is not just making, it's not an NGO in the real sense, it's a spiritual organization. Always, we should individually also should do sadhana, individually should enrich ourselves so that we become better and noble human beings. With this, I would like to close. Thank you for this great opportunity. Thank you and God bless you, our young people. Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you, Sri Ratnakar Garu, for sharing your nuggets of wisdom on leadership. Very fondly remember a question which was posed to Bhagwan way back in the 2000, which is also documented in Thus Spake Sai, when Professor Anil Kumar had asked Bhagwan, in order to make Bhagwan talk, what is the difference between a leader and a good leader? Swami, in his beautiful words, Chala Telika, very simple. A leader, he who only looks after himself is called a leader. And a good leader is one who lives for others. And he went on to say, saying that the more you live for others, the more the potential for seva and selflessness. And the more the potential for seva and selflessness, and the better leader. Thank you, brother, for taking us and making us remember. Today I have the privilege of introducing Mr. Nimesh Pandya. Nimesh Bhai, as he is lovingly called by all young and elderly gentlemen in the organization. He is a practicing advocate of the Bombay High Court, a high-profile lawyer from Mumbai. He is also the chairman of Pandya and Juris LLP, based an international law firm which looks at taxation and media laws. He is also on the board of directors of many leading corporations of India. On a personal front, a very lovable personality, always approachable, and who's been in the Sai mission seva for decades altogether. Even from the point of which his marriage was conducted by Bhagwan in Puttaparthi. He is the All India President of the Satya Sai Seva organizations, one of the largest organizations in the world, which channelizes the youth of almost, the energies of youth of almost 8 lakh plus across the entire length and breadth of India. He is also the trustee of the Sri Satya Sai Trust Maharashtra, very actively involved in the Bal Vikas program and been involved in the education and human values program right from the inception. A prolific speaker on many topics, a writer, and is also directed many ballets and dramas involving tiny little thoughts in the divine presence. Brother Nimesh Pandya, Sri Nimesh Pandya.
Om Shri Sai Ram. Offering our most humble salutations at the divine lotus feet of our most beloved Master, and expressing our heartfelt gratitude to him for offering us the opportunity to be in his divine presence with so many young people. An idea, a concept that Bhagwan most dearly cherished in his mind when it came to younger people and their amelioration in life. Respected Chancellor Sir, but I'd rather call him Chakravarti Uncle. Respected Vice Chancellor Sir, Brother Sai Girdhar, Brother Ratnakar, and I see a lot of my colleagues, Professor Harpal Bhagia in front, Sanjay, Naren, Amit, my state presidents, vice presidents, and my brother, Professor Sudhir Bhaskar, who, like a true leader, always wishes to sit behind. I'm very grateful to you also, sir, and all my brothers and sisters of the Sai organization. Very briefly, I would like to say that why would the Satyasai organization conduct a leadership program? Yesterday, we were having a chat with Chakravarti Garu, and I think it was a privilege when I sat with him for nearly an hour and listened to him to give a right perspective to this whole activity that we wish to conduct here. The Satyasai Seva organization, as Brother Ratnakar rightly mentioned, and I'd like to reiterate that with great emphasis, is not an NGO. We are here with a mission statement given to us by Bhagwan, and that is transforming self to transform the world. And I'd like to put the perspective of the Satsai leadership program in this context. The Satsai organization was never meant for anybody who wanted to improve another person. The Satsai organization fundamentally is for those people who come together with a commitment and a mission to improve themselves. And this is the foundation on which this entire leadership course is conceived and briefed upon and conceptualized. When we were talking to the committee that was set up to put this leadership program, one underlying strong principle that was adhered to was that we want everything in this leadership program that Bhagwan would want us to understand, and nothing from outside that any person would have experienced otherwise. So the most important thing for my young brothers and sisters here to understand today is that let us begin this with the right perspective in mind. That all of you young brothers and sisters, including myself, we're all committed in this 26 weeks to conquer ourselves first, to become leaders in leading our own destiny on the path that Bhagwan wants us to go. And the first fundamental thing for young men and women is always the challenge to conquer the mind. I remember Bhagwan always pointing out that the real key, the real bravado, the real adventure is when a young man or a young woman embarks upon the journey of conquering his own mind. Because that's where the secret lies. That's where the power lies. And that's where the key to unfold the immense innate divinity lies. I'm very happy the Vice Chancellor also mentioned this point, that the mind is where the whole thing begins. So leadership in the Satsai context, for you, brothers and sisters, is the ability to conquer your own mind. Because it's only when you conquer your mind that the key to unleash the divine power within is available to us to put into practice. I'm indeed grateful to all the members of the committee who put a lot of effort, Brother Gopi and the entire team of professionals. And I just want to share this with Brother Uncle Chakravarti, is that all the faculty members and all the people who sat down to conceive this program are all ensconced in the philosophy of Bhagwan Shri Satsai Baba. And we definitely ensured that we do not have any professionals who are not drenched into the philosophy of Bhagwan Shri Satsai Baba. Because as I rightly said, that the goal is self-transformation. Why would this be the goal? Because the entire mission of Bhagwan Shri Satsai Baba, it's important to understand the strategy. The strategy of Bhagwan was well laid down in the quotation when he said, if there is righteousness in the heart, then there is beauty in character. If there is beauty in character, then there is harmony in the home. If there is harmony in the home, then there is order in the nation. If there is order in the nation, then there is peace in the world. This link is sacrosanct. Brothers and sisters, none of us can breach this link. And the progress goes on this link itself. Therefore, the first and fundamental duty of all of us here, righteousness in the heart and beauty in character. And that's what this whole leadership program is. We want in the Satsai organization such leaders who are self-practitioners and then become inspiration to others. The strategy of Bhagwan was very simple. He could have changed everything in his divine power, but he touched every heart of every person, and he used to always insist that I want you to practice and then by sheer practice inspire others. And therefore, you and I, through this course, have to learn to practice so that automatically we become inspiration to others. Brothers and sisters, in today's world, there are two deficits. One is inspirational models nowhere to be seen, because people don't practice what they say, what they talk, what they do. That has become the bane of society. And secondly, the question comes is that inspirational leaders who can inspire people by their own, the aura, the energy fields that can be created by the inspirational leaders is missing. The second is the ability to love unconditionally, which is the need of the society today. I tell you, we must all be proud that we are part of an organization which is the biggest organization in the entire world, which is the biggest voluntary organization in the entire world. And I must say that people thought that when Bhagwan was there in the physical form could inspire people on this great mission of volunteerism. But the fact that Bhagwan's omnipresence is still more powerful today is that even after 1 decade of his leaving the physical form, the inspiration and the volunteerism has increased tenfold and not reduced. And therefore, that is the power of divinity. Not from the physical form of Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba. He was a great inspirational model. But essentially, we must focus on the attention when he pointed out that I am not outside, I am inside you. And therefore, the task of the leadership program is to seek God within, because that is the mission of the organization also. To understand that we want to be leaders of practitioners and inspire people by our practice, not by our words. And thirdly, to ensure that we develop the capacity of unconditionally loving society, because the world needs unconditional love. And today, there is nobody on the face of this earth better equipped than giving unconditional love than the members of the Sathya Sai Seva organization in the world. And we are the only people who have the capacity, the blessings, and the encouragement of our Master to grant unconditional love in the society. Therefore, ultimately, at the end of 26 weeks, brothers and sisters, what we expect and what Bhagwan wants, that each of us becomes a flower that we dedicate ourselves to Bhagwan on the context of unconditional love, self-transformation, and being inspirational to the entire society. There is no other purpose. Ego, position, as Brother Ratnakar mentioned, and I must mention, Brother Chakravarti mentioned a very beautiful phrase. He said the Sathya Sai organization is a flat organization. Everybody is equal. There is no hierarchy there, and there is no up and down. Everybody is equal, and everybody has the same opportunity to reach the divine lotus feet as each one of us can have. And therefore, together, holding hands, this mission of the youth in the Sathya Sai organization is very, very important to us. You are pioneers of a course which is for the first time happening. And I'm indeed grateful to the Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning for agreeing to partner us and lead us on this program. I thank the Chancellor, sir, the Vice Chancellor, and the Registrar, and also Brother Ratnakar as the Managing Trustee of the Central Trust. I think I'm very happy because Brother Ratnakar leads the way. I always believe that it is the next 5 years, entire organization will be headed and will be full of leaders with self-inspiration who are all below the age of 35, 40. And I think the Central Trust has set the ball rolling by having a managing trustee who is a very young man, and I think that sets the ball rolling for all of us. I'm also indeed very, very grateful to each one of you for joining this program and letting you know the responsibility that you are the pioneers of the many, many batches of young men and women who will come. We as an organization are committed to bring forth the youth of this nation on all fields. You're aware that we have started many initiatives for the young people in the organization in the form of the Shri Sathya Sai National Cricket League, the Sathya Sai Short Film Festival, the Sathya Sai Talent Contest. And let me tell you two things which inspired me while Brother Ratnakar and I were in Pathankot. After Brother Ratnakar left Pathankot, I went to Hoshiarpur. And in Hoshiarpur, I met a young commanding officer of the 14th Sikh Regiment of the Army. And while we were talking and discussing, he suddenly tells me, he said, Nimish bhai, I'm also a devotee of Baba. Why don't you send your young people to the Sikh regiment for 2-3 days, and I'll have the privilege of orienting them. So if we mentioned about the this lady who the Vice Chancellor met, I think we have a lot of young ladies who are going to be in the army, at least getting oriented and coming forth in many, many ways. And secondly, I got an invitation from the Himalayan Mountain Association, which says that, sir, we'd like to start a concept called adventure sadhana camps for the young men and women of the country. And therefore, I think that's the other thing that we want to explore as we go down, that we'll have adventure sadhana camps as a part of the youth to build up. because unless you struggle and you slog, you can't be what you need to be. And with these few words, I pray to Bhagwan to bless all of us and to ensure that we are successful in conquering our minds, unleashing His power within us, and guiding us on the right path. And once again, thank you to all of you, and God bless all of us. Jai Sai Ram.
Om Shri Sai Ram. On behalf of all participants, I thank Nimesh Uncle for giving this wonderful opportunity to participate in this first Sri Satya Sai National Leadership Program in collaboration with Sri Satya Sai Institute of Higher Learning. It's my great privilege and honor to introduce and welcome our Reverend Chancellor, Sri Chakravarti Garu, IAS retired. Sri Krishnamacharya Chakravarti Garu took charge as the fourth Chancellor of Sri Satya Sai Institute of Higher Learning in June 2018. Sri Chakravarti Garu, after completing his university education in economics, joined the coveted Indian Administrative Service in 1960, then unified state of Andhra Pradesh. He held various positions such as Collector of Anantapur District, Finance Secretary Projects, Commissioner of Relief, Commissioner of Commercial Taxes, etc., etc. On the command and direction of Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba, he left IAS and moved to Prashanti Nilayam since 1981, when he was appointed as the first registrar of Sri Satya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, a position that he held until 1994. During this period, he diligently established tangible administrative and academic procedures and helped take the university on the right path as envisioned by our beloved founder Chancellor. Along with the first Vice Chancellor, Professor V.K. Gokak, he was instrumental in introducing the unique Sri Satya Sai system of integral education under the divine guidance of Bhagwan. Later, Sri Chakravarti Garu was associated with the implementation of Sri Satya Sai Drinking Water Project in Anantapur district as a coordinator on behalf of Sri Satya Sai Central Trust. He later served as secretary at the Sri Satya Sai Central Trust. He later assumed responsibility as member secretary of the Board of Trustees, Sri Satya Sai Central Trust, where he made major contribution to several initiatives of the trust in the areas of Medicare, Educare, and Socio-Care. All these aside, more importantly, he is an ardent devotee of Bhagwan for close to 6 decades and has played a pivotal role in the Satya Sai mission. Sir, I request you to please address all our young minds. Jai Sai Ram.
My prayerful salutations at the lotus feet of Bhagwan. Distinguished guests on the dais, members of the academic fraternity, and participants in the program. At this point, I do not know whether I'm going to contribute anything more than what has already been talked or told by those who spoke earlier. But I had one observation, I shared it with Nimesh Pandya, that he has to find a better name for this type of program than this leadership program. Possibly because this has been termed as a leadership program, management faculty has been given a role. But if it has not been a leadership program, for the program meant to make us all better servants of God, possibly it would have been given the Department of Philosophy and Literature. I do, of course, look forward to the Vice Chancellor organizing it in consultation with Nimesh Pandya, another course. I would like to meet the participants, as I told Nimesh Pandya earlier, in smaller groups so that I'll be able to understand from them as to what has really brought them to this program and what possibly they would gain from joining Swami's organization. All of us will have to become better servants of God. I think this should have been given, the title should have been, how do we become better servants of Bhagwan? When Hanuman was asked, who was he? He declared himself as Dasoham Kosalendrasya. The best way to describe ourselves in future would be when we are asked, Dasoham Partinarayanasya. It is this spirit that's going to make us contribute more to society and through that to God. This organization has been able, with the divine benediction, to draw more people with willingness to contribute their service to society and thereby to derive satisfaction of a personal nature which money cannot get, which position cannot confer. I'm hoping that all of you, you're all in your 20s and 30s, will have 5 or even more decades of service to Swami. And every decade of service must make you feel within yourself that you have grown better as a human being and thereby as a better member of society, and therefore increasingly making yourself eligible to enter the kingdom of Satya Sai. I do not know how this training program is being scheduled, but if there is any time Nimesh Pandya could think of possibly myself meeting 20 or 30 participants at a time and spend some time with them so that I get to know the participants better. And I would also like to know more about the offline program. I'm sure it would have been drawn well because it has been done with contribution from people who have been involved in Satya Sai organization. But since I'm now taking a little more interest in the growth of the Sri Satya Sai Center for Human Values, I thought it would be good for me also to know as to how this program is being organized, so that in future Sri Satya Sai Center for Human Values can also be effectively, you can make the Center for Human Values contribute more effectively in future programs. So I look forward therefore to those who are seriously concerned with the drawing of this program. I understand that out of a dozen or so contributors to this offline program, about 6 or 7 are here. Should time permit for them, I'd like to meet them tomorrow at some time. And later on, spend some time with the participants also in smaller groups. I hope to learn more from them as to what has really propelled them to take up this program. And I'm looking forward to Nimesh Pandya enrolling the other 800 people who wanted to enroll themselves for this program at an early date. There's no such thing as selection. The only thing is participation. If 1,000 people want to join, we must find opportunities to make all 1,000 people get the benefit of the program. This is not as a matter of choice for people. I mean, the word choosing people from amongst the 1,000 is misleading. It's our duty to find time to really get all of them enrolled so that more people are energized to take up the service to society and through that service to God. I had mentioned sometime, someplace, that in our servitude to Bhagwan, is our freedom. The more we take upon ourselves to serve Bhagwan, the greater the possibility of ourselves becoming nobler. Therefore, I look forward to Nimesh Pandya and all his people to ensure there is an ever expanding group of people like you coming and joining the organization and do something to our society and to free themselves by being earnest servants of Bhagwan. Thank you very much for this opportunity to meet you all and look forward to knowing you, to getting to know you better. My pranams at the lotus feet of Bhagwan again. Thank you.
I just want to assure Mr. Chakravarti on behalf of all of us here that this first step of 200 is just a small first step, Uncle. With your guidance and Bhagwan's immense blessings, in the next few years, we want to see hordes and hordes of young men and women who will join the organization, and we will leave no stone unturned to ensure that they all become a part of our organization, carrying the mission and flag of Bhagwan very much. I'm going to instruct Brother Gopi also to see that my online faculty which is here, some of them are here, will definitely interact with you tomorrow sometime after taking an appointment from you. And surely I request Gopi that in the next 3 years, a sample from different states, a sample of 25, 30 people, we will see that we meet Uncle and we have an interaction with them. Thank you, thank you. Thank you very much for your blessings, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor, sir. We now pray to Bhagwan to give his divine discourse for this inaugural session.
జన్మించినటువంటి ప్రతి మానవుడు కూడాను ఈశ్వర స్వభావంతోనే కలిగి ఉండాలి.
Therefore, every human being born in this nature has got the divine quality.
మానవుని యందు ఉండినటువంటి యొక్క చైతన్యమును ఆవిర్భవింపజేసే నిమిత్తమై మూర్తి భవించినటువంటి వాడే మానవుడు.
Man is born to manifest and to express the divinity immanent in him.
మానవులకు ప్రధానమైనటువంటి గుణములు కూడాను ఉండాలి.
The human being should have main human qualities.
ప్రకృతిలో ఏ విధంగా సత్వ రజో తమో గుణములు ఉండినట్టు ఆ ప్రకృతి నుండి ఆవిర్భవించినటువంటి ప్రతి మానవుని యందు కూడాను ఈ మూడు గుణములు ఉండాలి.
Just as you find the qualities in nature, every human being also should have his human qualities.
అవి ఏ డకారత్రయములు.
These three qualities carry the letter Da to begin with.
డివోషన్ మొట్టమొదటిది.
The first one, devotion.
డిసిప్లిన్ రెండవది.
Discipline, second.
డ్యూటీ మూడవది.
Duty, the third.
యువతి యువకులారా,
Young men and women,
మీరందరూ కూడా చాలా మంచివారే.
you are all very, very good.
కానీ
But
డిసిప్లిన్ మీరు చక్కగా గుర్తించి వర్తించాలి.
you should know the discipline and follow well.
ఈ డిసిప్లిన్ ఎప్పుడు మనకు ప్రారంభమవుతుంది?
When do you have this such a discipline?
ఎప్పుడు మనకు ప్రాప్తిస్తుంది?
When do you acquire that?
ఈ వయసులో
At this age.
చాలా ప్రధానమైనటువంటిది, ప్రాణ సమానమైనటువంటిది క్యారెక్టర్.
At this age, most important in our life is that of character.
ఇస్ లైఫ్.
It's life main principal source.
కనుక ఇట్టి ప్రాణ సమానమైనటువంటి యొక్క ఈ యొక్క శీలతత్వాన్ని అనగా మన క్యారెక్టర్ను చక్కగా పోషించుకోవాలి.
This character, which is our very life, should be kept up properly.
ఈ వయసు చాలా గోల్డెన్ ఏజ్.
This age is golden age.
ఇలాంటి పవిత్రమైనటువంటి వయసును మనం నిర్మూలన గావించుకుంటే భవిష్యత్తులో కూడాను మన యొక్క జీవితము నిర్మూలమైపోతుంది.
If you spoil this golden age, you will be ruining your future.
మొక్క చక్కగా ఉండినప్పుడే చెట్టు చక్కగా బయలుదేరుతుంది.
If the plant is straight in the beginning sapling stage, the tree also would be straight later.
కనుకనే స్టార్ట్ అర్లీ, డ్రైవ్ స్లోలీ, రీచ్ సేఫ్లీ.
So Bhagavan says, start early, drive slowly, reach safely.
ఈనాడు ఈ వయసులో ఈ క్యారెక్టర్ను మనం పోషించుకున్నప్పుడే మన సంతతి, మన జాతి, మన కులము సర్వము కూడాను ఆదర్శవంతమైనటువంటి బిడ్డలుగా తయారవుతారు.
At this age, if you maintain your character, your progeny, the community, the country by and large would prosper.
వ్యక్తి పవిత్రుడైనప్పుడే సమాజం పవిత్రమైనది అవుతుంది.
When the individual is sacred, the community, society will be sacred.
సమాజము పవిత్రమైనది అయినప్పుడు దేశం పవిత్రమైనది అవుతుంది.
When once the society is sacred, the whole country by and large would be sacred.
దేశం పవిత్రమైనప్పుడు ప్రపంచమే పవిత్రమైనదిగా రూపొందుతుంది.
When the country is sacred, the whole world will be sacred.
ధైర్య సాహసాలతో మీరు సేవల్లో ప్రవేశించాలి.
With all the courage and valor, you render
ఇది
service.
ఏమి సేవ, ఎట్టి సేవ అనే విచారణ మనకు అక్కర్లేదు.
Don't bother about what sort of service it is to do
ఒక
service.
విలేజ్ కి మీరు పోయినప్పుడు
When you go to a
ఆ
village,
విలేజ్ లో ఉండినటువంటి యువకులంతా మీరు ప్రోగు చేసి
collect all youngsters there, gather them,
ఆ యువకులకంతా మీరు చక్కగా బోధించి,
teach them well,
అయ్యా మన గ్రామాన్ని మనం శుభ్రం చేసుకోకపోతే ఇంకెవరు చేస్తారు?
explain clearly, if we don't maintain the cleanliness of
ప్రతి
village,
వారం
who
కూడా
else
ఒక
will do?
మీటింగ్ పెట్టుకొని ఆ గ్రామంలోని యువకులే ఆ ఊరిలోని సేవలు చేసుకోవడానికి తగినటువంటి కృషి కల్పించాలి.
You should convene a meeting of youngsters in every village, talk to them the need to keep
ఎక్కడో
it
హైదరాబాద్
clean.
నుంచి నెల్లూరుకి పోవటం అంటే ఎంత కష్టమవుతుంది.
It's so difficult to travel from Hyderabad to Nellore to serve.
కనుక మనకి నెల్లూరులో ఉండినటువంటి యువకులను తీసుకొని ఆ నెల్లూరు యువకులకే ఒక విధమైన ట్రైనింగ్ అందించాలి.
Make use of youngsters there in Nellore, make them serve there.
ఇంకొక విలేజ్కి పోతే ఆ విలేజ్ లో ఉన్నటువంటి యువకులకు మీరు తగినటువంటి బోధలు చల్పి వారితోనే సేవలు చేయించాలి.
If you visit another village, make use of the residents there.
మనం ఎప్పుడు కూడా సేవకులు 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 కావాలి. మనం
We should always be the we should always be servants and servants, men of service.
సేవకత్వంలోనే నాయకత్వం ఉంటుండాలి.
It is only in the servitude lies the leadership.
ఈనాటి లోకంలోని నాయకులంతా కూడాను సేవలు ఏనాడు చేసిన వారు కాదు.
Today leaders, they never served before.
కనుక సేవలు చేయకుండా నాయకుడు కావాలని ఆశిస్తున్నారు.
They want to be leaders without serving anyone.
అందువల్లే లోకం ఈ గతి పట్టిపోతుండాలి.
That's why the present plight of the world is
మన
like this.
సేవకులు అందులోనే మనకు గౌరవం ఉంటుండాలి.
In fact, there's a lot of respect when you serve.
హనుమంతుడు ఎట్టివాడో మీకు తెలుసునా?
You know what sort of a person is Hanuman?
హనుమంతుడు శాంతుడు, గుణవంతుడు, బలవంతుడు. హనుమంతుడు
Hanuman is one of peace, he is one of character, he is one of physical strength.
మంచి బలవంతుడు.
He is very strong physically.
అతను అశోకవనములో చేరాడు.
He went there to Ashoka.
సీతాన్వేషణ నిమిత్తమై అనేక విధమైన పవిత్రమైన కర్మలు ఆచరించాడు.
He made various attempts to search Sita.
కానీ లంకలో ఉన్న రాక్షసులు ఈనాడు ఈ కోతి ముఖం చూచి ఎరుగరు.
But the Rakshasas there in Lanka never saw any monkey before.
రకమైనటువంటి జంతువు వచ్చిందని అందరూ బయలుదేరారు దాన్ని చూడటానికి.
All Rakshasas, they wanted to see this funny monkey which they never saw before.
అందులో రావణుని యొక్క కుమారుడైనటువంటి వాడు ఇంద్రజిత్తుడు పోయి నీవెవరు అని ప్రశ్నించాడు.
Among them the Indrajit, the son of Ravana, asked, "Who are you?"
కానీ హనుమంతుని యొక్క శక్తి సామర్థ్యం ఎవరికీ తెలియదు.
No one knows the capacities of Hanuman.
అయినప్పటికీ
Yet
తాను చెప్పాడు,
he replied,
దాసోహం కోసలేంద్రశ్చ. అయ్యా నేను శ్రీరామచంద్రుడి దాసుడను అన్నాడు.
he said, "Sir, I'm the servant of Sri Ramachandra."
ఈ దాసత్వంలో ఎంత గౌరవం ఏర్పడింది అతనికి.
What respect he has.
నేను రామచంద్రుడి దాసుడను అనుకుంటే మనకే గౌరవం, కానీ ఇంకొకరికి కాదు.
If we say that we are servants of Ramachandra, naturally it carries respect.
ఇంకొకరి దాసుడు కావచ్చును.
You may be servant to someone else.
దుష్టకర్మలకు దురాలోచనలకు దాసుడు కావచ్చును.
You may be servant to bad activity and bad thoughts.
విషయ భోగములకు విషయానందములకు దాసుడు కావచ్చును.
Sensual pleasure and worldly
విషయ
pleasure.
భోగములకు దాసుడు కావచ్చును.
You may be a servant to pleasure.
దాసుడు కావటంలో ఏం తప్పు ఉంది?
But what is the mistake if you are the servant of God?
ఈ విధమైనటువంటి యొక్క డిస్క్రిమినేషన్ మనం చేస్తూ రావాలి.
We should exercise discrimination like this.
నేను ఏం తప్పు చేస్తున్నాను?
What mistake I
నేను
made?
ఎందుకోసం భయపడాలి?
Why should I be
సమాజ సేవ
afraid
చేయడంలో
of?
తప్పేముంటున్నది?
What is the mistake in
ఈ విధంగా
service
తనలో తాను
village?
ధైర్యాన్ని సాహసాన్ని అభివృద్ధి పరచుకోవాలి.
Therefore we should be courageous in serving.
మొట్టమొదట ధైర్య సాహసాలు రావాలి.
Therefore it is the courage which is most important.
ఈ విధంగా సేవలో పాల్గొనినప్పుడు దైవము మీ సన్నిధి ఎందే ఉంటాడు, మీ పెన్నిధి ఎందే ఉంటాడు.
When once you start serving the community, there you find God as your very well.
సో ఒక పిల్లవాడు చెప్పాడు, స్వామి మాకు ఒక శక్తిని ఇవ్వండి అన్నారు.
A boy prayed, "Bhagavan, give us the Shakti or
ఏం
energy."
శక్తి కావాలి?
What energy you need?
సినిమా చూడటానికి శక్తి కావాలా? టీవీ చూడటానికి శక్తి కావాలా? వీడియో చూడటానికి శక్తి కావాలా? ఏ శక్తి కావాలి నీకు?
Do you need energy to watch the TV or go to
కావాల్సినంత
cinema?
శక్తి ఉంటుండాలి ఈనాడు మీ యువకుల్లో.
There's lot of energy among young men.
3/4 శక్తినంతా కూడా వేస్ట్ చేస్తున్నారు.
3/4 of energy is wasted.
కానీ మీకు వేస్తే టేస్ట్ గా ఉంటుండాలి.
But this waste is a taste to you.
కాదు అది
No.
చాలా తప్పు.
It's a big mistake.
మనలో ఉండినటువంటి శక్తి దేనికి లేదు.
The power rated in us.
ప్రపంచంలో
not
దేనికి
found
విలువ అని
anywhere.
ఎవరైనా ప్రశ్నించినప్పుడు గోల్డ్ కి విలువ, డైమండ్ కి విలువ, ల్యాండ్ కి విలువ అని చెప్తుంటారు.
We say the diamond is valuable, gold is valuable in the world.
కానీ
But
సరైనటువంటి రీతిగా విచారణ చేస్తే మనిషే మంచి వాల్యుబుల్.
if you inquire clearly,
Men are more valuable than all the wealth of the world.
men are more valuable than all the wealth of the world.
డైమండ్ కొనేది ఎవరు?
Who buys this
మనిషే
diamond?
కొంటున్నాడు.
We only buy the diamond.
గోల్డ్ కొనేవాడెవరు? మనిషే కొంటున్నాడు.
Who purchases gold? It's a
అది
human being.
కొనబడేటువంటిది కానీ కొనేటువంటి వాడు మనిషే.
It's the one that is purchased material objects, but you buy
కొనేటువంటి
it.
వాడే లేకపోతే కొనబడేటువంటి దానికి విలువనే లేదు.
When there's no purchase, the one who buys, well, there will be
కానీ
conflict.
ఆ బలము, ఆ యొక్క శక్తి నాకున్నది అనేటువంటి విశ్వాసాన్ని మీరు పెంచుకోవాలి.
Develop the faith that you have got all the capacities and potentiality.
అన్నింటికంటే గొప్పవాణ్ణి నేను అనేటువంటి విశ్వాసాన్ని పెంచుకోవాలి.
I have faith that you are greatest of all.
మానవ జన్మము జంతువునాం నరజన్మ దుర్లభం. ఈ దుర్లభమైన మానవ జన్మం ఎత్తినాము.
Human life is the rarest of all.
ఈ మానవ జన్మం మనం సార్థకం గావించుకొని సత్కర్మల్లో మనం ప్రవేశపెట్టాలి.
We should work for our redemption by entertaining good activity.
అప్పుడే ఈ మానవత్వానికి ఒక విలువ ఏర్పడుతుంది.
Then only human life will have its value.
ఒకానొక సమయం లోపల
At one time,
ఈ సేవలు చేయకుండా కేవలం రామ్ 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 అని రామని చింతన చేస్తూ పోతే ప్రయోజనం లేదు.
without serving anybody, if you go on repeating God's name, it's all useless.
సీతాన్వేషణ లోపల హనుమంతుడు లంకను ప్రవేశించాడు.
At the time when people were in search of Sita, Hanuman stepped into Lanka.
కానీ కొన్ని సందర్భం లోపల విభీషణునికి హనుమంతునికి స్నేహం ఏర్పడింది.
At one point of time, Vibhishana and Hanuman became friends.
విభీషణుడు హనుమంతుని ముందు వచ్చి చాలా బాధపడ్డాడు.
Vibhishana came in front of Hanuman and felt, Hanuman,
నువ్వు రామ సన్నిధిని చేరుకున్నావు,
you are so near Rama.
రామచింతన చేస్తున్నావు,
You are thinking of
నీ
Rama.
రోమరోమము రామనామంతోనే కూడి ఉంటుండాలి.
Every hair in your body is
ఎంతటి
full of Rama.
అదృష్టవంతుడయ్యా,
How lucky you are.
నేను ఎన్నో సంవత్సరం నుంచి కూడా నువ్వు రామనామాన్ని స్మరిస్తున్నాను,
In fact, I have been chanting Rama's name for
కానీ
several years.
రామదర్శనం నాకు ప్రాప్తించలేదన్నాడు.
But I could not have darshan of Rama till this day.
హనుమంతుడు చెప్తున్నాడు బుద్ధి ఈ యొక్క విభీషణకు,
Hanuman started teaching him,
విభీషణ
Vibhishana,
రామ్ 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 అని టేప్ రికార్డు మధ్య చెప్తున్నావే కానీ రామసేవలో ఏమైనా నీ పాల్గొన్నావా?
he said, Vibhishana, you went on chanting Rama's name like a tape recorder. Have you ever served Rama?
10 నెలలు అయిపోయింది సీతమ్మ వారు మీ యొక్క అంకకొచ్చి.
See, Sita has been here for the last 10
ఒక్క
months.
దూరైనకున్న ఆ సీతను చూచావా నీవు?
Did you see her even?
ఆ సీతను యొక్క బంధ విమోచన చేయడానికి ఏమైనా ప్రయత్నం చేశావా?
Did you make an attempt to free her?
ఇది రామకార్యం కాదా?
Is it not Rama's act?
రామకార్యం చేయకుండా రామనామం చేస్తుంటే ఈ వ్యక్తి ఈ రామతత్వాన్ని పొందగలగదు.
Without working for Rama, without serving him, what is the fun of repeating his
కనుక
name?
నామంతో పాటు సేవలు కూడా చాలా ఉండాలి.
So along with the Lord's name, service is equally important.
నామం నెగిటివ్,
The name is negative,
సేవ పాజిటివ్.
service is
ఈ
positive.
నెగిటివ్ పాజిటివ్ రెండు చేరినప్పుడే కరెంట్ యూజ్ఫుల్ అవుతుంది.
When once negative, positive are there, the current
అదే
flows.
మన విల్ పవర్.
This current is our willpower.
ఈ యొక్క విల్ పవర్ అనేటువంటి దాన్ని మనం చక్కగా వినియోగించుకోవాలి.
We should make proper use of this willpower.
కనుక ఈ ప్రపంచంలో ఇంతమంది యువకులు ఉండినప్పటికీ ఈ కొద్ది మంది యువకులు మాత్రమే ప్రశాంతం చేరడంలో ఎంత అదృష్టవంతులో మీరు.
Out of so many youngsters spread all over the world, you few could gather here. You are very, very lucky.
మీకు లభించినటువంటి ఈ యొక్క ప్రాప్తిని మీరు వ్యర్థం చేసుకోకండి.
This fortune gifted to you, never waste it.
మీరు ఎక్కడ పోయినప్పటికీ నేను వెంట ఉన్నాను.
You may go anywhere, Bhagavan is with you.
మీకు ఏ విధమైనటువంటి బాధలు వచ్చినా నేను చూసుకుంటాను.
Bhagavan will take care of all your difficulties.
ధైర్యంతో దైవం యొక్క భావమును మీరు అభివృద్ధి పరచుకొని సేవల్లో పాల్గొనండి.
With all the courage and divine thoughts to serve the society.
కొన్ని నష్టములైనా కూడా పర్వాలేదు, మీరు సహించుకొని సేవలు మానుకోకుండా ఉండండి.
You may suffer certain losses but never give up service.
ఈ యొక్క మాటలను పవిత్రమైన సూత్రములుగా మీరు భావించుకోవాలి.
Consider these words, Bhagavan's message, as the
ఇంకా 10
sacred.
మందిని మీరు పెంచాలి.
You should grow more and more.
ఒక్కొక్క వ్యక్తి ఒక్కొక్క 100 మందిని పెంచుకుంటుంటే దేశమంతా ఎంత బాగుపడుతుంది.
Every person should spread and share with 100 each.
కనుక ప్రతి ఒక్కరికి కూడా ప్లస్ 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 చేస్తూ పోవాలి.
Like this you can go on adding.
అప్పుడే జగత్తంతా ఏకమైపోతుంది.
Then the whole world will be one.
అప్పుడే సర్వము ఏకాత్మ భావం కుదిరిపోతుంది.
Then you will have this principle of unity, oneness.
స్వామి యొక్క ఆశీర్వాదములు అమితంగా ఉంటున్నాయి. మీరు సుఖంగా, శాంతిగా, ఆనందంగా, భక్తి ప్రపత్తులతో జీవించి దేశానికి సరైనటువంటి యొక్క సేవలు చేయాలని నేను ఆశిస్తూ ఆశీర్వదిస్తూ నా ప్రసంగాన్ని వివరిస్తున్నాను.
You have Bhagavan's blessings in abundance. Bhagavan wants you to lead a peaceful, happy, blissful life and grow in sincerity, devotion and steadfastness, and brings his divine discourse to a close.
End this session with Shanti Mantram. We'll have a 10 minutes break. Kindly be seated. After the dignitaries leave the auditorium, we will resume the next session. We will leave with a Shanti Mantram right now. समस्तलोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोका सुखिनो भवन्तु